Well, we gave up two big pass plays. I mean, those are issues. I mean, obviously, we got to do a better job. We got to clean it up. Worked really hard in the run game, obviously coming off the UCF performance, maybe too hard. Um, I also attribute, we're still learning how to play this style of defense. Um, the good thing is, I think our guys have understood enough concept that we're able to adjust as the game goes on and, played much better in the second, third, and fourth quarter. Um, really disappointed with a fundamental coverage mistake that we made. And I thought there was a 10-play period during the course of the game where we need to do a better job of tackling. And like I tell the kids yesterday, all the mistakes belong to me. So if anybody wants to point the responsibility, I don't want them to have any. It's right here, okay? That's the way we handle it. And I just tell them, I want you to play as hard and as tough as you can, and all your mistakes belong to me.
The stretch of bad tackling, is that because they're still learning and they're thinking?
I don't
too
think
much,
so.
or-
No, I just think we didn't do a great job. It was a 10-play segment during the course of the game, and there were 3 missed tackles. We were fortunate because the one that resulted in a 48-yard gain, we were able to, find a way to get off the field and get, and they missed a field goal in one of those opportunities. So thought we settled down and played really well throughout the second quarter. We come out, we have the bad play in the third quarter. The disappointing thing there is it's happened to us come out of the locker room 2 games in a row. We've got to pay more attention, and one of our goals is a third quarter shutout. So, that's a disappointing deal. But I thought we really settled in. What did we give up? 200 yards in the first quarter, and basically 100 yards in second, third, and fourth. And what were they? 0 for 12 on third down against our ones, and 1 for whatever, counting fourth down. So, there's some things that I'm feeling really good about. The best part of it is we were able to make adjustments moving forward as the game kind of progressed. And we've been tested with no huddle, up tempo. I think they were faster than UCF, and with all credit to Scott Frost, he's probably one of the fastest guys in the country. So, and if you watch our tape, and you can come up and look at it all you want, we're lined up ready to go every snap. So, I think we've made significant improvements in terms of our sense of urgency to get lined up and get ready to play. We just need to play better, during stretches, and it's, 41 snaps of 46 in the run game against UCF. They have 63 yards. Then you come back and you're looking at your deal here. We give up 3 pass catches. We give up 100 and whatever yards of offense. So you must be doing a pretty good job during the course of the rest of the game. We just need to make sure we're totally clean and as I told you, understand the concepts. But all the mistakes belong to me, not the players.
You mentioned that your players are still learning your defense. Talk about the challenge of still teaching your defense while preparing for a game.
It's hard. It's flat out hard because you're trying to correct mistakes from the previous game. Then you're trying to set a game plan. And at the same time, you're trying to go through the fundamentals piece. Let's not forget they've had 3 different defensive coordinators in 3 years. That's not an easy deal. But that's the situation we're in. And to be quite honest with you, I look at it as a challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sitting up in the room, oh my God, this is a terrible thing. I mean, this is a challenge. That's why I'm here. And, and that's, I've got great players and with great high character, and they're working as hard and as tough as they can.
You've obviously given opposing quarterbacks a pretty tough time.
23 quarterback knockdown Saturday. 23. I don't know if I've ever had 23 in a game. And I count them, every one. That's a lot.
What goes into that among your, in particular, your defensive linemen, the job that they're doing?
Well, I thought that we played our best game as a group up front this past Saturday. One, I attribute, I thought we were solid in the run game. And two, I thought we provided some good four-man pressure. And then you couple it all in with, explosive plays out of Peppers, McCray. I think the front seven or the linebackers and the front, are tying together and starting to get some things going here that I feel very, very good about. But, you want to eliminate, you want to be as close to perfect as you can. Unfortunately, there's only, there's nobody in our building that's perfect. And, but you want to, that's what you're striving for on a week-to-week basis.
Talk about what you're getting from Ryan Glasgow.
I mean, he's a trained, highly motivated, physical defensive lineman and can play at the highest level. The thing about Ryan that I like the most is he can come to the sideline. Sometimes he'll come to the sideline, and they'll be, some guys, and you kind of learn who they are. They'll be giving you, yeah, I got a down block and a pull, and they have no idea what just occurred. He can give you hard fact, and then you refer to the tape on Sunday, and what he's telling you is what he's getting. There's one of our stunts that we do where, we bring one of the defensive linemen down into the A-gap. He steps to the A-gap to draw the center. Well, the center went away from him, and he just went, shoo! Most guys would go ahead and run right over here, run right into the stone wall, but he's smart enough that he realized, the center didn't come with me, see you later. So he's a very smart football player and can give you detail of what's going on up front.
The middle of the field on Saturday, was that the linebackers crashing a little bit too hard on play action?
Well, on the one long play on the post, we have what we call a post window player, and he kind of squeezes and it gets in behind him. So, shame on him. We still have a chance to make the play. I thought the strong safety on the other side diagnosed it pretty well, but got his feet tangled up a little bit. Because really, there's only one deep threat, which was, that play in particular, and the UCF long run when it's let me tell you, it's a conventional fit the crease between the tackle and the number 2 receiver, fit the alley between the number 2 and number 1 receiver, and the corners outside. I mean, it's a basic deal to me. Maybe not to everybody on our club yet, but it's one of those where you go, God, we're doing so many complicated things that are difficult, and we're kind of rolling right through them. And then there's a simple deal, but that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the learning curve. Here I am worrying about, trying to attack these protections and get guys in the right position in that scenario, and a simple fundamental deal, we just don't execute it. So that's the piece that's the challenge. We got to keep getting better fundamentally, keep getting better learning the concepts and game plan at a high level.
You and James Franklin have a lot of history. You guys work together, right? And stuff. I mean, is there something there, that helps you this week, knowing him personally?
I've worked with him and Joe Moorhead, the offensive coordinator. Joe was at UConn with me.
Okay.
This is Joe Moorhead's deal now.
Okay.
So, it's a spread deal. And he's a high freeze guy. As last week turned in, the interesting thing with Colorado is they're a fast, up-tempo outfit, probably as fast as anybody. And by the middle of the second quarter, it became, what are we in? Not, let's go fast.
It's because of you guys?
Well, when you're coming enough, they don't want to get, it's like hitting your head against the wall. you don't want to run a bad play into a tough look. And it's not like we're going to sit there, and guys, you got to understand, these spread teams, what they want you to do is they want you to line up in 1 or 2 looks. That's what they want. And that's exactly what I'm not going to do, okay? So let's get that straight. We're going to be extremely multiple. We're going to stay on the aggressive side, and that's how we're going to go. And we're going to learn it. And trust me, we've made significant improvement in that area, okay? So let's get that straight, okay? These guys want you to line up in quarters and a static front and kick your you-know-what. We're not doing that. And if it is, it'll be over my dead body, okay? So we're going to stay aggressive, we're going to stay focused, and we're going to stay multiple. And what it will turn into is this. That's the turn. That's where, who's controlling the tempo now?
What's
You
the
have-
high freeze guy?
What is a high freeze?
Yeah.
Well, quarterback will come up, try to get up, give you the impression it's fast tempo,
Oh, okay.
make a cadence call, and then look over to the offensive coordinator and see if he wants to change the play or run the play. Well, if he gets the looks he wants, they're running the plays. Now, against certain teams, they won't even bother to do that because they know what the look they're getting. And the quarterback's ready. Oh, here it is. Quarters, 4 across, all that stuff. And let me get it straight, okay? I don't play quarters. It's not even in my repertoire. Reason? Because everybody else does. So let everybody else do the same stuff. I'm not doing that. Just not.
Are the
You-
slants that have come up in the last couple of weeks the result of mental mistakes, or is that just the offense coincidentally calling?
We
something
gotta,
that
we
works
gotta
well?
do a great job here's the thing, when you play as much, hands-on man coverage as we play, it's a technique fundamental matchup deal, okay? So during the course of that game, there's a couple things that happen that you probably don't even know happened, okay? One is we had to tighten up our fundamentals on playing the number 2 slot receiver, okay? Some of our guys got a little lazy or a little soft in their alignment, and we didn't like the matchup on one, so very easily, we just said, don't match him up there, we're gonna put this guy over there, and that's what we did. So, it's becomes a semi-basketball game, so you gotta try to keep the matchups in your favor as much as you can. And, that's kind of the process. I thought we did it, as I said, once we settled in and kind of figured out, all right, this is how they're gonna roll, I thought we did a good job of, mixing between 4 and 5-man rushes. We played some more of our, some more of our coverage stuff that matches up, and kind of puts the numbers back in our order. We did a great job of not letting the quarterback run around, which obviously was an issue the week before. So, that's what it is. It's a game within the game, and to be quite honest with you, probably the reason I'm still doing this is because that's the fun part. I mean, that's the stuff you get into is, all right, the game started, all right, wow, this is how it's gonna be. Time to roll your sleeves up and earn your keep. So, that's kind of the fun part.
You have,
Speaking of matchups, just getting a guy like Lewis will allow you to be even more aggressive.
Well, we'll see, he's out in the practice field, so. But when he's healthy, he's a very, very good player. There's no, let's just say I wouldn't be unhappy if he's out there, for sure. Because he certainly gives us another guy. And I'm very happy with Jeremy Clark and Strib and Delano and DeMonte. And, I think we're getting, Brandon Watson's given us, I think, surprising minutes. So, we're developing depth as we're kind of going through this process of, getting everybody back or getting the bulk of our guys back. We're developing depth along the way, and obviously, you get a little learning, you're kind of fighting the learning curve with a couple of the new guys that are in there, but, I think it makes you better for it down the road.
Jim said you don't win that game last week without Jabril, and partly because of his efforts in the return game, but defensively, is he better than you thought after seeing 3 games?
He just, it's almost criminal what we ask him to do. I mean, he's out playing press coverage, on the number 2 slot receiver. Then he's in the blitz game. Then he's playing, static linebacker. Then we got him all over the place and, learning what we're trying to do from a defensive perspective. And then he has other responsibilities other than defense, but I think he leads the country in TFLs, leads our team in tackling. One thing, when he shows up, it's usually in an ornery mood, and he's explosive when he gets there. So those are kind of good things.
You brought up the 41 out of 46 plays against UCF. When you're playing as aggressively as you are, is 1 or 2 big plays almost inevitable in a game?
No, see, you don't want any, and that's the goal. I don't know, go ask Alabama how they felt last Saturday. I don't know. I think they're probably happy they won the game. So, but you don't want any, and that's the goal. You want to be, keep everything in front of you, not give up any big plays, and I blame myself. After the UCF game, and we're ready to, we're gonna punch this run in the mouth and get this thing straight, and make sure our fits are right and all that, and then lo and behold, there's a couple of leaks in the throw game, a couple of them tackling mistakes. Obviously, we give up a post for 38 yards and a 70-yard completion, and then all of a sudden, you kind of do a good job of getting it all under control and figuring it out. So, it's just going to be a learning curve, and you just keep your fingers crossed. I just know wherever we are right now, 3 weeks from now will be a heck of a lot better. And wherever we are in 3 weeks, I think 3 weeks later will be a heck of a lot better. And that's, the arrow's pointing up. Even on the couple of run mistakes that we talked about, right? It's not like somebody was punching us in the mouth now and knocking us off the ball. It's hit your gap. But when you move, we're subtly moving and grooving up front and understanding how to deal with this block and that block. And this guy's going from, D gap to B gap to C gap roll. I mean, we're doing a lot of that. And, it takes a little bit of time to be right. But like I told you, that's the challenge, and that's what makes life exciting, in college football. You're trying to get your guys from point A to point Z, and, I just look at it as a challenge every day, going to work and getting the guys motivated and all that good stuff. So we're continuing to improve. There's no question about it. And I think Colorado had some really good team speed, really good, better than I anticipated. Number 1 and number 2, I'm not good with names. I'm good with numbers. Number 1 and number 2 could run now. Those guys can run. So, I thought 23, the tailback, was a good player, and I think the quarterback's one of the better guys we'll play this year. I'll tell you one thing now. He is one tough guy. He took some shots in that game and got up. So, I think it shows well for their team and that young man and his leadership. He's a tough character.